Welcome to Unscripted Coding. Today we're going to talk about PII, Personally Identifiable Information. Now this is data privacy, but we are going to work on a project. But for background, what PII is are things that identify you as an individual. Your email address, your full name, your physical address, your bank account number, your passport number. Those are all things that are fairly sensitive, and you don't want it out on the World Wide Web. I would not put out my bank account numbers in the stream, for example. It makes no sense. It's really critical to protect this information, but you entrust a lot of other companies to protect that information. Google, of course, has your email address, but it might have images of your passport. It might have your driver's license. It might have other information about you. And what's important is they have a huge obligation to protect this information. And so what we're going to build today is blank web page right here, but we're going to have a little text box that you can paste in information, a block of text, and it's going to try and scrub out as much PII as it can. And those are email addresses, IP addresses, passport numbers, and so on. Now, there are other ways to go about this, but I wanted to keep this all local. And the reason I'm trying to build this project today is because we're sending a lot of information to third parties today because of this AI revolution. Everyone is signing up for these free accounts with new startups that are promising a lot of AI brains. And sure, there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot of reasons to sign up for them, but they don't really talk about their security. They don't talk about their practices. They don't have, big buckets of money for you to sue afterwards. Lots of reasons why you shouldn't trust these people. And so I was thinking an intermediate step would be to scrub out very sensitive information, the most dangerous information, before uploading it to chat-gpt or all sorts of other AI chatbots today, or other types of AI tools. Now again, there are multiple ways to do this. Microsoft has a couple interesting ones. Microsoft Purview comes with Microsoft 365, so it regularly scans this information, and frankly they're going to do a much better job than we will today. But you have to have a paid license. Basically you have to pay for this service. Similarly, you can go into chat-gpt or other AI, so Azure is one of them, in which you can ask them to scrub the PII. You can go into chat-gpt and say, please take out all the names, please replace all the email addresses, phone numbers, and so on. It kind of defeats the purpose, though. You are submitting it to one AI so that you don't submit it to another. It's not terrible. OpenAI is probably bigger than most of the startups you're encountering, but I was thinking we could do something that runs locally on your computer, catches the most obvious ones, and you haven't sent it anywhere. It hasn't gone through the internet. You don't have to worry about cloud providers, storage, going out of the country, blah 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 blah. It's all local on your computer. So what we're going to do is we're going to use JavaScript and use regular expressions. And I found this great tool, this great website, Mélonade, that has these great regular expressions that we could just pop into the website. So for example, it has the format for a couple different regions of phone numbers. So France, Germany, UK, US. I'm really looking at the US, honestly. Email addresses look the same across the world. They have this idea of birthdays. Really interesting approach. I really like this one. IP addresses. They even have a bunch of other ones: Visa, credit cards, Swift code, government IDs. So we're going to put a bunch of these into our project. unlike our the last couple videos, I think I'm going to do this, sped up. This is just route programming, I think. So, I guess we're going to get started. So about 15 minutes later, we have this. Works decently enough, but I thought I'd go through the code very quickly. You'll see that I always start with this basic template. It just has a header, footer, navigation bar, and basically, and I should probably zoom in so you can actually see what's happening here. Basically, I have this template every time, so I import Vue.js, jQuery, and Bootstrap. All of it just to make it easier. I don't even use Vue, so I could probably take this out. jQuery and Bootstrap, that's just style and some helpful JavaScript tools. In this case, I have a local PII scrubber. There is a, and let me word wrap so we can all see. I have this text area and the button. When you go to this site, you will see the text area and a button. Basically click and it'll transform what's in the text area. How this works is when you click a button, we use JavaScript to create this function, to run this function. When the scrub button is clicked, we run the function in here. So first of all, we pull the text from the text area. So we put it into this variable text. Then we create a new variable called scrubbed text, which runs this function, scrub text. And we pass in what we just, the variable above. So once this function runs, we get a return value way at the bottom here, and we put it back into that text area. So we find this text area, we change the value to the scrub text. So there's just two variables here. Text input, we scrub it, we get the scrub text, we put it back into the text area. So how this looks like, and I picked some random, looks like a delivery company, and we copy this this contact information. Plenty of PII right here. I suppose if it was a personal number and address. And I saw an email address here too, so let's, oops. Horrible. Let's throw that into a text box as well. And when we click scrub PII, it'll replace everything: phone number, physical address, email address. Now you can change it to whatever you want. You could put a dummy value, you could change the brackets. I think this looks sharp. But basically what it's doing is it's running through a number of regular expressions. As I said, I pulled all of this off this website, Mélonade, and we can put, and I could spend hours just inputting all of these from Argentina all the way to, US, United Kingdom, and have all of their driver's license. But I think what's important is to get the general gist here. We have a regular expression that is a form that you're searching for a US phone number here. And this is the search, and then the tag afterwards, this G, is a global search, meaning that it's not the first match, we're just matching all of them together, and we use a replace function. For every match, we're going to replace the match with this bracketed phone number. And we go down the list. There's a format for US mail, so it's physical address. We have email address, IP addresses in 2 different formats. And finally, once we keep replacing the text, we return what's being replaced. So let's look at this very, very briefly here. And we create this regular expression first, and we use this replace function. I have found that there are great websites that explain regular expressions. Online. So if we paste our regular expression here, it will slowly explain to you how this works. And I will never understand how to do this very well, but what's beautiful is that AI is doing a really good job of it. If I go on chat-gpt or AI-generated regex. Oh, that's very interesting. So this one is purely one where you paste the text and then you highlight it so it slowly learns from examples. But match all email addresses. And it suggests something here. But anyways, these sites, if you're old school and not using AI, they will explain to you. In this case, what was this one? This was the phone number. They're looking for a group of numbers, and then probably either a dash or a bracket, and then another group of numbers, and then another group of numbers, just like we would find in a phone number. I'm paraphrasing here because I didn't look at all of these, or any of these, to be honest. But here you can see the email. At a certain point, you match the @ sign and the dot, and then you have a series of letters and numbers afterwards. So group of letters, numbers, then the @ sign, group of letters and numbers, then the dot sign, and then a group of letters. Is there no domain name that ends in numbers? I guess that's true. And we go down the list. IP addresses, groups of numbers again. Now you'll notice that I missed one very big PII that I realize as I'm doing this might not be so simple. First name, last name. If I put John Doe or Jane Doe in there, how do we find it? Regular expression, probably simple enough, but yeah, there's no easy way to find this because you're looking for capitalized letter and then a series of letters afterwards. This is where AI kind of kicks in, and you would want something like Microsoft AI to find it. I'm sure there are clever ways. If you look at Miley, they have a very clever way down here to detect birthdays. They want to find a date that is near the word birth, birthday, DOB, born. And I think that's very clever. But for names, they might show up in the middle of a paragraph. They might show up in a sentence. It's really hard to redact. And I think I might have to go back to the drawing board because I didn't think of that in the first place. But nevertheless, finding all the phone numbers, all the email addresses, all of those are going to be a big help. And I think I might, from my own use case, do something similar to birthdays in which it's close to full name, first name, given name, that type of thing, and remove it. But if I'm just trying to generically scrub data off a paragraph, off a piece of text, that becomes much harder. Anyways, I hope that was interesting. I will post this code somewhere on GitHub because I think this will be useful for a lot of others as well, albeit this is not the greatest and most comprehensive list in the world. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all soon in the next video. Thank you.